Hello everyone, how are you? This is Ami, and today I'm going to talk about Ghana and myths and how does myths to do with education there. And to start with, I'm going to talk about my mother, which was from Ghana, and that's why I chose this topic, of course. And she always told me that she had an amazing childhood there, that kind of childhood in which children are always playing outside, no matter what time it was, and with no need of any material, with just playing traditional games. And there was a huge sense of community at that time. I don't know now, but that's still, at least at that time, um, there were like a huge sense of community because each child was known by all the families, and they could easily be recognized for anyone, and so that they were very concerned about their behavior, because if they did anything wrong, then uh, anyone could see them and told his or her parents, and so they were very strict on how they behave. And in addition to that, they were told a lot of myths in order to achieve this good behavior on them. So they were created stories that they pass from generation to generation, that were told in order to avoid children to do things they shouldn't. And so they took these myths in mind. So they knew when they could do which things they could do, or which things they couldn't, because of the myths, which helped a lot in this sense. And so both families and children uh, uh, had like the sense of myths are really important, so they really felt them somehow. And yeah, myths were a crucial um, element in the process of upbringing the child in order to behave in a proper way. All right. Before moving into the myths, I want to talk a little bit about the country Ghana. It is located in the Western Africa, and it's one of the leading countries there because of its natural wealth, and also because it was one of the first black African countries in the Sub-Sahara to become independent out of the colonial rules. So in 1957, it finally got its own government. Its capital is Accra, which is a city in which we can find the self-government. And as for the official languages, I have to say that Ghana recognizes many of them, but English is, of course, one of them. So it's English is the language used to as a unifier, but also to sing the anthem of the national anthem of the country, and it's spoken by half of the population approximately, so it's quite used there. Just one last thing I forgot, but before going through the myths, we want to know what myths are. So um, these are stories based on tradition. Some may have factual origins, but some may be completely fictional. And so, in any case, it becomes clear that they have a purpose. So, as I suggested, they can be based on real events or not, but what they want to do is to teach us something very important in a meaningful and in a different way somehow. The first myth goes like this. It says, if you sweep in the night, you are sweeping your good fortune away. So what does that mean? means that if you are sweeping in the night, in the middle of the night, it's dark and you don't see that better, and so you might be sweeping as well some money, for example. So this myth is created in order to prevent children from sweeping at night because of the fact that they cannot see that well, and so they might be sweeping away some other valuable things that they want to keep, and that's why. This was taken for granted for every child, so it was very easy to follow, and also it was very believed by all of the population until they die, so it was very common. The second one says that if you sing in the shower, one of your relatives will die. Mostly it was the father or the mother, and this one was very strict as well, and children followed very very well because they didn't want anyone of their family to die. So it consists of, well, it was told because they didn't want them to sing or in the shower, because if you sing in the shower it means you need to open your mouth, and if you open your mouth in the shower, soap might enter inside of your body or any dirt substance, so it might be harmful for you. So in order to avoid that, they were told this myth, which was very easy to follow as well, because out of the 24 hours per day, I think you can spend 10 minutes in the shower without singing. I mean, you have the rest of the day to do that. This one says that if you pound a mortar with anything inside, it means that you are pounding your parents' organs. This one is pretty dark, right? Though it was very used because it was used to warn children, so they didn't get hurt while playing, to pound something, even though there wasn't anything inside the mortar. So it was very effective as well, and the idea was basically to avoid them to getting hurt. This says that if you put your left hand on the floor while eating with the right one, you are not going to be pleased. So the idea of this myth is to make sure that children sit upright while eating, and also that they keep their left hand clean, because sometimes their parents would put the fish and the meat in this one, the left one, and so they want to eat something clean, not dirty. So they want to make sure that they had both hands clean, especially the left one. As the ones mentioned, the myths mentioned before weren't enough, here we have the last one. And it says that if you wash your hands under someone who is equally washing his or her hands, it means that you are taking his or her fortune, so that you are leaving him poor or her poor. This was the intention of this myth was to avoid children doing that, because it doesn't make sense hygienically. If someone is washing his or her hands, then if you put your hands under his, then you are washing your hands with dirty water, so it doesn't make sense. Your hands are still going to be dirty, so that's the idea. And also, if someone is washing his or her hands, it means they are dirty, so if they were clean, this person wouldn't be washing them. So it's just a matter of keeping the hands clean, and that's it. Now that we have seen all the myths, I want to say that it comes a point at which you realize that myths are not necessarily bad. And in Ghana, even though parents didn't have, or maybe they did, and a formal education, they really care about children's education. So they were very concerned about how to get them on the right path. So they used myths, among others. I guess, of course. But you know how curious children can get, and they want to try to do things they are warned not to do, right? So uh, instead of saying them, don't do that, you should do that, you should do that, then myths kind of gives this kind of situation, like kind of mystery or something that engages children as well to act in a proper way. So I hope you enjoy, then see you soon. Bye bye.